Hi guys, so I just wanted to come and touch on this story. So I saw this online and then I went over to Mike Hill. Mike Hill is Cynthia Bailey's husband. He's also a sports analyst and I believe he might still have a show on Fox Soul. But he was tweeting out about why is it that there have been strong leads for black women in sitcoms, strong positive leads. And the storylines are about them, their relationships with each other, and their relationships with their, significant others. And so some people, from what I was seeing on Twitter, took what he was saying the wrong way. A lot of women thought he was coming for the sisterhood, and so they were coming for him. But that wasn't what he was trying to say. And I kind of got what he was saying, but I don't think he's going to like my answer. And I think one person kind of tweeted what I was thinking anyway, that was in his comments. Girlfriends and Insecure both were created by women. I'm not real sure who created Living Single right now, but I almost feel like it was a woman as well. But I just don't remember who. We understand as black women that it's important that if our stories are going to get told, we're going to have to tell them, right? And I'm happy that there was a Mara Braca kill. I'm glad that she was given the opportunity to create girlfriends, and Issa Rae getting the opportunity to do what she's doing, because otherwise we wouldn't get these stories, right? And I think we understand that as women, as black women. Like I said, he's probably not gonna like my answer, but I think the black men that are in Hollywood, they don't want to tell those stories anyway, and that's why you don't see them, because they could if they really wanted to. If Issa Rae could come out and create the story with the black woman out as the lead, then these guys would have the opportunity to do that as well. They didn't want to tell those stories, and that's why those stories are not there. And I think people were confusing what he was saying. They started naming all these sitcoms, which many of them were comedies. And then some people was naming stuff about drug families, and he said positive. The man said positive. So he's not talking about the seedy stuff and the dramas with the drug families and all that stuff. That's not a positive image of black people. I hate to inform the people that think that, but I digress. I do think that, like people were telling him that he should create it, he would have to create it, since he's thinking that as a black man. Otherwise, he won't see it. Now, the one other person that tried to, I thought it was interesting that he was saying this, because the other person that tried to say that they wanted to make like a spinoff of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but as the husbands, with the husbands out front, was Peter Thomas. Peter said that as well, but I guess the show was never picked up. He wanted to make the show more husband focused, where it was more focused on the professional black man married, and he could be, of course, married to a professional woman. Because to be honest, if you take Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and maybe a couple other reality shows off the air, you would never think that there are professional black men that are married to professional black women, like Dennis married to doctors and lawyers, architects or whatever, right? Engineers, whatever. You would not see these stories otherwise. Because I think the black man in Hollywood, they don't want to have their feet planted in blackness. And so a lot of them want to tell all these different stories. And yeah, and that's the life you're living. You have a right to tell your story. Everybody's story should get told. But black stories should be told as well. And that's what I'm saying. I think that it would take the mindset of someone to say, this is my vision, this is what I want to do, and to pitch it and see if it gets picked up. But the people that are, it's not like it's not black men in Hollywood. So if you're asking that question, what else is the answer? They don't want to do that, right? That's the only answer that I could give him. But yeah, I remember Peter was talking about that as well. He was saying that he wanted to put the husbands out front. Now, I don't think Mike is talking about a reality show. I think he's talking about a sitcom where it's a little more serious and not necessarily a comedy, or not necessarily comedy first. I think that he is trying to say, let's paint some positive images of black men dealing with each other as fathers, as businessmen, in that way, as husbands. I think that's what he's trying to say. But people were taking what he was saying different than that. Yeah, we had Martin. I don't think Martin was a negative, per se. Martin and Tommy and Cole, even though we didn't know what Tommy was doing, but it was a comedy, right? And that's what people started doing. They started naming all these comedies. But I think that he's talking about something a little more serious. But that's just my opinion. I think that Insecure it has comedy moments, but it's more of a sitcom that's not necessarily jokey and slapstick comedy type show. And that's just my opinion. And Girlfriends as well. Girlfriends had the laughter moments, but they also were dealing with a lot of social issues that black women face, right? And so, including relationships. And so I think that's what he's saying. Let me know what you guys think about what he had to say. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if black men wanted to create that type of show, they would have created that type of show. And it's not that people won't watch it, because people watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was #1 for how many seasons, right? So people watch Married to Medicine. So it's not that people don't want to watch the shows. They don't want to create the shows. And that's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.